You can never outrun your pains, your griefs, your sorrows, your anguish, your fears, your shame. You can never outrun them because they will always be waiting to greet you. For some, it has been 5 days. For some, it's been 5 years. Others, 50 years. Running and running and running. And we've become so good, so well, so excellent, and so branched out into the realm of different paints and different ways and different ecstasies and different normalizations on how we run away from essentially ourselves. We've been hurt, we've been harmed, we've been neglected, we've been rejected, discarded. We have not known love. And when it comes time to face what we must, which is the very contrast of life that happens to us, we do not stay as ourselves. We do not remain with ourselves. We give agency to the other thing far more than ourselves. To pleasure, to comfort, to prolongation. And even that has a million different routes each. As many ways we can run, as many routes, as many roads we can take to drive away from ourselves. We have found ways, even more, to justify it. Your addictions came from the same thing. Your prolongings, your worries, your never having to be hurt again, your never having to try again, your never having to care again. These never havings to, they are a form of running. No different than I will always, you're always having to, are also a form of running. What, you scroll over your phone, hourless, no track of time? There's a reason for that. You hang around with people, always with things around you to soothe your own loneliness. Hourless, no track of time. You bury yourself in not just the things around you, but yourself. Your thoughts, whatever they may be, are just a way to run away from yourself, to deviate from yourself. Your feelings, no difference. And we become addicts of thought, addicts of feelings, addicts to ourselves, and continue to call it, that's just who I am. How many billions of lives have been buried, and how many billions of lives that are still breathing now are dead beneath the ground of that's just who I am. Not many are alive because the ones that are still breathing, all of us to this day, the ones that are supposedly on paper alive, we're caged in our own addictions, our own lack of self understanding, our own fears. That if we do see ourselves, that would mean we are worth caring for. If we are to face the contrasts of life, anything horrid that happens to us, maybe your mother killed herself when you were young, maybe she abused you, maybe your father, your brother, maybe someone you thought should love you betrayed you, maybe someone had raped you, or maybe you built so many years of yourself in an identity that you thought was you, and it all became shattered via all the things mentioned prior, or just taken from life. In all of those things, there is you. There is that which deserves to be loved. And it begins with seeing that very being which deserves to be loved. And how do we run away from that fact? We put the agency and wait onto someone else to do it for us. We feel discomfort, we feel uncomfortable, so we soothe ourselves. And that soothing is an attempt to let it deal with discomfort for us. Your relationships, the words you speak of, what you say, I love you, is anything but. You delude yourself by making the other or illusioning yourself that the other will love us for us. Over time, these practices, these ways of self-abandonment, they have far horrific consequences, irreversible, that seep onto not just your neighbor, not just the neighbor's neighbors or the world. They seep onto thousands of years into the future. Because to run from yourself is a way of life that has been practiced only by the ones who have brought about pain, misery, anguish, and the list is countless. But more so, it also brought about the okayness and being comfortable in your misery and kindness and worries and feelings. All these things prolonged themselves. And it is by design of the fear that is so intelligent in your body. You'll remain comfortable in your addictions, so why not make the whole earth become an environment which makes you remain further comfortable in your fears? Fear brings about the running, and fear is not what you think. Because ironically, fear is thought itself, feelings themselves, sensations themselves. They are survival. The first sign of discomfort, all these three things, maybe they interconnect, maybe they're branches of 1,000 different forms that they interconnect and crisscross with one another. And it's very easy to trap yourself in that illusion that that is what I should listen to because that is what I am. And it is not. You, truthfully, you are a profound eternity of existence itself. See how much this world is curated for you to forget that? To forget life itself. What difference between you and the person who has to wake up in the scorching sun, work 18 hours a day laying bricks, and come home and live their whole life in extreme poverty? They have that same profoundness of existence, not in them, but it is them. And see how much that is brought about from one person's fear seeping out onto the world, and then the other people who it seeped out on, they had a contrast of their fear and themselves, but they gave in to the fear and gave agency to the fear and given in to their feelings and soothings and thoughts, and that seeped down to the other and the next and the next. It's a disease that has engulfed the whole earth since we learned to walk. But now we have become such experts on how to run, especially ourselves. It's all we've ever known, eh? It's all we've ever known. It's all we've ever seen and taught. What is normal is not normal. Most normacy is a majority of individual that is psychologically regressed. That is what a normal person is. A majority. Most of humankind has been normal. Suppression, oppression, killing, hurting, harming, raping, using one another, not just for extraordinary means, but even for a second, just to soothe our thought and feeling. That is become normal and has been. That is not life, intelligence, love. And that is not you. To give in, to subscribe to every single fear, thought, sensation, feeling, that is an animal. That is not a human being. That is a human organism, which most of humankind has been. So, what will humankind do when they are faced with the contrast of truth, which is you? Will they run? Will they kill you? Will they hurt you, belittle you, smear your face, degrade your values, degrade you, and facade you into thinking that, oh, this is just crazy talk. You are just not thinking straight, or make you feel uncomfortable, give you confusion, and find justifications to erase you. Yes, they will. These words, family, these words, friend, these words, love, They are so small compared to the eternal desert of life. But you put so much meaning and weight onto them because it is so much easier to run away from the actuality of friendship, love, family. You, than it is to be love, be friend, be family, be intelligent, compassionate. All these things you will find, and I hope you do. They are the same because they are the eternity itself. But we run from that. A little bit of pain, a lot of pain, a little bit of grief, a lot of grief, something horrid happened to us. These are just scars and cuts in the very universe itself. But existence is far so abundant, and we hinge on to these fractures that are what? A grain of sand in the infinite desert of time. And we spend so much running around and running away from it that all of life goes by, all of ourselves go by. Our consciousness, that is what it is. Our consciousness is never watered. We run and not aware. We addict and not aware. Because to aware is to be seen. To aware of our functionings, our brain, our body, it is our responsibility to understand it, which is to understand ourselves and see all the processes that occur in it, not just when a feeling comes about, not just when a thought comes about. We don't just give in to that, but when we aware as those things come about, we see why now, why here, what for. These processes come into light, and that light is awareness itself. And that whole motion is love itself. That awareness is synonymous with love, self love. That's what it is. Does not matter how many people put you away for it or dissuade you into just giving in to your lowest functioning behaviors, thoughts and feelings and sensations. Words, justification, rationalizations, confusions, or agency to the other. No different than it's giving agency to your primal self, which is all these things that brought about harm and running away and, fear and prolonging it. As we aware, we see the whole of motion functioning. And as we see it in ourselves, it's not just a one time thing. It will happen again. Your body will want to survive. It will do things to survive, kill, hurt. That comes as the latter. But the feeling subscription, the craving to satisfy and soothe it, the thought in this prison it builds, this is just what I am, I'm finite, this and that. It will try again and again to dissuade you. And as you aware and aware and aware, you love, love, and love. And that might mean to stand against the whole world. And that is what it means to stand against all of creation. Because you break the pattern. You break the fine tuning of the human organism that was purposed to consume and devour all life just so it can survive. We, you and I, just do it in a less blood on the road-esque way. We do it psychologically. It's always been psychological, I should clarify, but we have normalized so much harm, neglect, uncare for one another, and that only is a byproduct because we have done so for ourselves. Have you not seen your deepest functions? How can you even understand another? When you are a complete infantile, clueless child to yourself, would you not behave on the mind of a savage, of an animal? When the same functionings that were in you when you were 1 year old is the same when you're 20, 18, 15, 35, 50? We're not taught to face ourselves because ourselves, we are very first ugly, hideous, disgusting, selfish, violent. That's what we are. But all these illusions are given to us. You don't have to face that. Just feel instead. Feel good about yourself. Think good about yourself. Think. We're given substitutes for life itself. You are giving yourself substitutes for life itself. And that is what we have been for so many centuries, ever since we learned to walk. Our very lives have become substitutes for life itself. And that very way of life, if you want to call that life, is no life at all. Because no matter what you do, no matter how much you numb yourself or run from yourself or use some other person or use your delusions or illusions and use your justifications and rationalizations or use people or ideas or thoughts and religions and books and intellect or smartness, no matter how much you use, your using is just consuming. And no matter what you do, how much you run, all that truth will be waiting for you. For a drug addict, you'd be lucky to be on your last breath before that ounce of life in you, a small ounce of life. It has no more energy to keep up with the images or the facades, and it will force you to see, if you're lucky and don't die, it will force you to see the profoundness of the motion of life, which is you. Nowhere else to run but to face yourself. And that's if you're lucky, if life keeps happening for you. If you're a sex addict, if you're an emotional addict, if you're a thought addict, it's the result or the roadway to sociopaths and psychopaths and narcissists and evil. That's the roadmap to it, which I am sharing with you. Most people are. And that is normal. But no matter what you do, even if it is on your last breath, when your body cannot keep up with any illusion or thoughts or energy to feed you thoughts and feelings, your pain and harms and griefs and betrayals and wrongs. And not only that, but all the times you ran away from your own joy, your real love, and the people who gave truthful care. All of that hits at once. What happens next? I do not know. Maybe you just die. Or maybe you're given another chance with the realization that the way I had been living my life has been a lie. It's been a facade, it's been an illusion, it's been these thoughts and feelings. That's it, that's all my life was. That's so small. I'm free. And you always have been free. That's the tragedy. You always have been. And might I add on, why wait for life to bring you to death before you see this? Why not see it now? Meet the pain now, meet the grief now, anguish now, which is to see your past, to see it in contrast to where you are now, or cross examine, which is to see who I am now, the feeling I'm feeling now, the thought I'm feeling now. It's a byproduct of years of whatever it may be. For some, it's been being abused. For others, it's been being abused and being living in an illusion that that is what love looks like. For others, it's never knowing anything. For others, it's being so forcibly and desperately to be accepted by anyone ever and everyone. And a billion different roads. Yet a billion unique, each their own, very much so. A life, you, that is unique, your own. Does it not deserve examination? Does it not deserve to be seen? Does it not deserve to be loved? Does it not deserve to be strong and well? Does it not deserve you? You are free. So stop running from yourself. You are not a prison, and these bars of thoughts, feelings, past, memory, sensation are not you. So stop running from yourself. We are the entirety of consciousness, and we must aware of it. And people will bring you down. You yourself might bring you down. You probably have been for years. And they will try again. But very much like love, like existence, let us be that again and again and again. And let us love, which is to be free, which is to be us, which is to not mind what happens next. If you do have any concerns, questions, worries, fears, complexities of any psychological conflict or confusion in your relations or whatever it may be, feel free to share. Because I have a ocean's worth of knowledge and wisdom that I must use. And I want to give you a lot of its refreshment. So please feel free to ask. And feel free, or I should not say feel free, but do be love.